And now, another episode of MMA Gossip with your boys.
Boom. We're live, baby. MMA Gossip, episode 33. We're back. Do us a favor, like, comment, and subscribe to this video. We just had about a 20-minute talk about YouTube's algorithm before Mike clicked record in this video. So just do it. Please do it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps the boys out. We love doing this every week, and we'd love if you return the favor and did that for us. Anyways, UFC 253, they're back. Yaz Island, Fight Island, the whole nine. UFC's going back. Bellator's back. Euro Series, Bellator 247. They're actually going to be live, which is insane. We love to see it. And then we're going to do what we do best and talk some shit about what's going on in the MMA world at the end. But with that being said, Flash Forum, UFC 253. Obviously going to rewind and talk about this past weekend's fight night, which seemed like a pay-per-view in my eyes. I don't know about you guys. Covington gets that big, fat, juicy W. Haters stay mad. You love to see it. Mike, let's get it.
All right, you want to talk about that first, or you want to go right? All right, let's do it. I mean, bro, for all those people that were saying it wasn't a TKO, he got hurt. Like, dude, if you can't finish the battle, you lost.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
What the fuck does it matter? The fight was well over.
Dude, because the fight got so emotional and people were so hard pulling for Woodley, so hard pulling for Covington. And so all the Woodley, losers out there were just like, no, he didn't get TKO'd, man. Rib, look at the x-ray. Like, no, dude.
Okay, good. He would have laid on his back for 2 more minutes, you fucking idiots.
Dude. Tyron Woodley quit on the stool after the 4th round. His coach was like, Dean Thomas, you want this. And it's like, dude. In Tyron Woodley's defense, yes, rib injury, it was real. X-ray proves it, whole nine. But, you had a way out, and you took it.
Yeah, and I said it last week.
KO.
Dean Thomas himself said Tyron doesn't have it anymore after his last fight. So if your coach is saying that his fighter doesn't have it anymore, and then he has one more fight, and then after the 4th round, he's telling him, you got to go out there, you got to go win this. Coach Dean knows in his head, he goes, and this fight's over.
Well aware.
Dude, he's done. I think, I know we're talking a lot of shit about him. Props to him. Great career. Just hang it up and go sit at the desk, man. There's no reason to get beat up for a paycheck anymore. I'm not one to tell anybody to retire, but after 4 fights in a row with the exact same thing, I just don't see a reason for him to keep fighting.
Dude, he lost 15 of his past 15 rounds in a row he's lost, and he's gotten 10-8'd in 4 of them.
So who do you guys think Colby gets next?
I want
I just want to see fucking Masvidal, bro.
Yeah, I don't care. I was going to say Leon. I want Leon Edwards.
I want Leon Edwards bad. I would be wearing my MAGA hat, a Colby shirt, and the whole 9 if he fought Leon Edwards. And it has nothing to do with Leon Edwards' skin color at all. I know how that sounded terrible thinking back about it, but nothing to do with his skin color. I just hate Leon Edwards that much, and I still do not buy into him at fucking all. He talks a lot of shit, and he hasn't fought in, over a year? Even when he does fight, I'm not impressed by him at all.
I'm impressed by him. I'm really impressed by him, but I'm not.
I think he
needs to be more active for sure.
I think he's good at everything, but excellent at nothing.
I think he's a real bad matchup for someone like Masvidal. I think Colby would kind of put it on him.
He's a bad matchup for Masvidal, I think, too.
I think that Colby and Masvidal need to be I honestly I know the BMF belt, the round 2 is going to sell a ton of pay-per-views, so good for them. But Masvidal and Colby, would be epic, dude. Epic. And honestly, they're talking about this shit with Conor coming back. Maybe they just ditch that fight and have Conor fucking fight Nate for his little return. Although, again, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't really want to see Conor return. I fanboy out for him, as everyone knows, but I don't want to see him come back. And I definitely don't want to see him fight Nick Diaz. That would be – I mean, I would tune the fuck into that, obviously, but I don't want to see that either.
I don't want Conor to come back solely because I cannot deal with him fighting again, dude. Those the week leading up to that fight and that whole day is about 20 years off my life every time. When he's walking out, I want to chew my own fucking hand off. I don't want to sit through it again. It's not fun. I wish I could just wake up the next morning and know the result.
Dude, I got us way off topic. I'm sorry. Matt, I'm going to go back to what you said about Tyron Woodley, just not having it anymore and hanging it up. How about his teammate?
Which one?
Mearshart.
Oh my god,
Dude.
No, all jokes aside, that's a career-changing, if not ending, knockout.
Dude,
Bad.
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still young. He's only 32, but he's got, his last 2 fights, he's been brutally knocked out. I think he's 1-4 in his last 5. Like, it's just not a good look.
And I'm not blowing any more smoke into Chimaev yet because that's exactly what was supposed to happen.
Not that.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
I'll put a little bit more stock into him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a big fan of him. For sure, big fan. But I don't want to see him get a retarded jump in competition right now.
He's going to.
Yeah, he's gonna fight. So I actually have the rankings up in front of me.
He tweeted today that he's gonna have he's main eventing. Dana already said 100% next fight is the main event.
We don't know who it's going to be, though.
Right, it's on Fight On. Who the fuck could it be? Let me pull up the rankings right now. Dude, I saw a lot of people saying that he should fight Leon Edwards. That's quick.
I don't think that. That's a lot.
Wonder Boy, Damian
Wonder Boy,
Maia,
actually.
RDA's booked, right? Isn't RDA booked?
Islam Makhachev. And
Makhachev.
RDA, the way he
Yo.
looks, he is shredded. He's taking something. He's got to be, man. The way he
I mean, dude, good for fucking him. He better be at this point.
I know. He keeps
155
taking-
again.
Is he gonna fight at 185 or 170?
Who?
RDA is going 150.
RDA's going to 150.
No. Sorry, I'm still looking at the rankings. Chimaev.
I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know.
He's fought it.
That's a good point, Matt. Because I was looking strictly at welterweight rankings.
He's fought 2 out of the 3 at middleweight.
Probably give him fucking Chris Weidman. The UFC hates him for some reason.
Give him Shabazian.
No.
Oh, dude, that's tailor-made matchmaking for him, dude. He would literally go out there, avoid the first punch, kick, whatever, and the fight would be over. Sorry, Shabazian.
Yeah.
But what else? Anything else of note on that? Cowboy and Nico going to a draw.
I was surprised that Cowboy's chin held up, dude. He was getting his brakes beat off in that first round, and he looked more durable than he's ever had. Well, not ever had, but over the last year and a half, 2 years.
Johnny Walker brutalizing Ryan Spann.
He's going to lose his next fight.
Johnny Walker, yeah, dude.
Unless he fights Anthony Smith.
I'm going to fade both of them their next fight unless he fights Anthony Smith.
I just saw because they do what? I'm taking Johnny Walker, dude.
I would take Johnny Walker in that fight too. Anthony Smith just said today he could beat the shit out of Johnny Walker, but he just lost to fucking Rakic, and he said that he felt like he was a weight class smaller. So you're gonna fight fucking Johnny Walker, who's like 6'5"? Like,
can we stop talking about Anthony Smith is relevant anymore? I mean,
yeah.
No, I just put it up because, like Chris said, I saw that article today, so I was like, oh, maybe that happened.
What else? Mackenzie Dern submits Ronda Marcos real quick. Exactly what we said. It was either that or Ronda Marcos could just stick and move for a decision, but Ronda Marcos, with her 500 record, could not do so. Kevin Holland.
Let me wrestle her real quick. Yeah, smart.
Great idea. Good job, Ronda Marcos, you fucking retard.
Perfect.
It was perfect. Kevin Holland and Darren Stewart. I thought Darren Stewart won.
I thought it was 2-1 Holland. I thought he won the first 2.
Who'd you bet on?
Holland.
I've never once in my entire life of knowing Matt hear him be like, yeah, I thought so-and-so won, but I bet on the other guy.
Never.
Dude, if you bet on Darren Stewart, you'd be like, dude, Darren Stewart won 2 and 3. Like, I don't see it any other way.
It was close.
No, it was very close. It was very
my
close.
total strikes, I just gave it to what's his name.
Dvorak. I'm stealing your job, Mike. I'm just reading this right now. I'm just going over. Tyson Nam, that was supposed to happen.
Did you see my text how I missed the first 3 fights, and then the first one I bet I lose?
I was fucked up on Saturday, bro. We were supposed to go to the brewery down here. Me, Mark, Jackson, my parents, Jackson's parents. We all went out. Carly was down. We had everyone, and we were going to go out to the brewery. Went to the brewery, $30 Uber ride. Get there, and they have fucking social distancing in place. So you have to be 6 feet apart.
Which one? Sorry for interrupting.
Brewery, dude.
Okay.
And they had you couldn't stand. So you had to stand 6 feet apart, and you had to have a table. So there was, dude. They told us it was like a 3-hour wait. I was like, what? So we just got beers to go. We got cases. Came back here, dude. I was drinking from at midday all night. Dude, I was so hammered watching these fights, but it was awesome.
Dude,
I love watching fights.
Dude, I was banged up for them.
Anyways, boys, you want to look up forward to this week? Unless you guys have anything of note. Derek Minner with a juicy submission. That was fucking nice. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Miss Jess, TKO.
Sorry to interrupt you again. I was just pointing out. Did you guys see who got performance of the night?
Who?
It was Damon Jackson and Randy Costa. Damon Jackson, dude, that was pretty cool. I mean, granted, I bet on that, but
I thought they only did performance bonuses. They did a fight.
I'm on the UFC website, and there's just a medal next to him, and it says performance of the night, and then there's a medal next to Costa, and it says performance of the night.
I think there should have been two more, probably Chimaev and someone else, maybe Mackenzie Dern. I don't remember who they announced, but I know that they said they only did performance of the night, no fight of the night.
Bro, Bektik is clueless. Every time I wasn't really watching that fight, but every time I turned around, he had his neck in a guillotine, and it was like 6 times. Every time.
He just loves to fight lower level competition and fight to their level. It's like actually crazy. He's on a 3-fight losing streak too.
Yeah, dude.
Bad. Just like I'm so high on him and I'm so low on him now. Like I just man, he won that split decision. I'm looking at his record right now. Split decision over Ricardo Lamas. That if he loses that fight, he's on a 4-fight losing streak and would have lost 5 of his last 6.
Bro, I talk about someone who's got like limitless potential and it's going nowhere. Like I don't know. It's got to be a mental barrier at this point. Like how can it not be?
That's what I mean. He was undefeated and gets knocked out by fucking what's his name, Darren Elkins.
That was like one of my best hits ever.
That's crazy. But boys, the time has arrived. The Flash Forum, Yaz Island, Fight Island, whatever the fuck you want to call it. UFC 253. Adesanya. Borrachinha, who the fuck you got? And the co-main event, Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz, whatever you want to say it. Mike, do your fucking thing. I'm not trying to steal your job, bro.
No, it's all good, man.
A different format today.
No, it's fine, dude. Like just whatever flows, man. We're not strict.
No worries, bro. Let's talk about a classic here. It's not on the main card, but Diego Sanchez.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Going up against Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews, if last I saw, was like minus 700.
750.
Chris, have at it first, because I need to pull up what you said.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, we might have Diego Sanchez on your podcast. But anyway, Diego dude, he's a fucking space cadet. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. He knows it. He'll be the first to admit it. Diego Sanchez is a fucking warrior, like, tough season 1. Like, he's just fucking still doing the damn thing, which is insane. He's one of a kind. Props to him for still doing it. Jake Matthews, prospect. It seems like this card is almost like I was going to say City Kickboxing, but he doesn't train there. But Jake Matthews doesn't train there. It just seems like Australia, New Zealand, like Pacific Islander kind of fight versus the world. You know what I mean? There's 4 guys in this card from City Kickboxing alone, New Zealand, Australia, kind of like pretty heavy on this card. It seems almost like he's one of the hometown guys on this card. They've been trying to push him for a while, Jake Matthews. I want to pull up his record here, but he's fought I don't want to say who's who, but he's pretty battle tested and he was such a young kid. He came in the game like fighting guys like he's 26. I want to make sure he's 26. Fighting guys like Kevin Lee and Anthony Rocco Martin. Who else? Li Jing Liang, Emil Mack, James Vick, Johnny Case. Like that's a lot of. He's been in the UFC since 2014, and he's fucking 26 years old. He came in as a young kid doing the thing. Diego Sanchez also came in as a young kid, but Diego Sanchez has a full head of gray hair now. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at here. I don't know if I could justify the minus 750. Diego Sanchez just seems like he still is relatively durable. Like there's times where I'm like, oh, his chin is so gone, like he's fucked, and then like he gets put out by like Matt Brown, and then he kind of just hangs in there, and he's almost too durable to be finished in fights that he clearly fucking loses. And I could see this being a fight where I don't see a world where Jake Matthews loses this fight. He's very well rounded. He's got good grappling, the whole 9, but. And I don't see Diego like throwing up arm bars or something from fucking guard. But I just think he's too over the hill, and Jake Matthews is still on the come up, and Jake Matthews just wins this fight probably by decision. But I know Mike gave me a little juicy sprinkle on the under, so which is what under 2.5 is like plus money, right?
I'm actually going to take inside the distance. I think that's what you're taking.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, inside the distance. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take inside the distance for Jake, or just straight up the fight doesn't go the distance, it's plus money, because like Diego. Who knows if he gets it some wild, crazy submission in the first round, or Jake Matthews should be able to just beat him because like the way that Diego's been getting beat, like, yeah, I agree. He's a little bit more durable than people give him credit for, but they're getting thoroughly defeated.
Unless you're Mickey Gall.
Unless you're Mickey Gall, but in which case I knew Gall was not ready for that fight. So I'm glad I took the
Everyone got the memo.
Dude, you were all over that. You called him a fraud straight up. You're like, Mickey Gall sucks.
So what I pulled up was this was a tweet from Diego Sanchez. I once smoked a blunt with 150 hits of the strongest DMT. At Joe Rogan thinks he knows about the download. LOL.
He's a wild man.
Super.
And that's my analysis of the fight. Jake Matthews by probably knockout.
That's my analysis of the fight. Dude, if Diego Sanchez wins this fight, I'm going to go bananas.
He won't. All right. Up next. I guess we could talk about
I know what you're gonna say.
City kickboxing. I was gonna say Brad Riddell and Alex De Silva. Brad Riddell's a huge favorite, and it can be more clear that UFC and Dana White are trying to put this kid over because they put a kid who's 21-2, good record, but if you watch him fight, he is nothing. He reminds me of like Alan Patrick, who just fought last week against Bobby. What the fuck is he? Bobby Green. Yes. He reminds me like that. If he doesn't get a takedown, he's going to lose. And Brad Riddell's got great takedown defense. He's showed him all his fights so far in the UFC, and he's going to knock this kid out.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he trains at City Kickboxing, which is coming up as like one of the best striking schools in the whole fucking world. And he was training in Phuket for years of his career as well, strictly kickboxing. And he's got, they have surprisingly good ground game, great takedown defense over there. Dan Hooker's a prime fucking example. Izzy is another prime example. So they're doing something right. There's something in the water over there, and they're really trying to put that whole part of the map, put that side of the map on the map. And they go to Australia all the time, New Zealand, and put on these big shows. And they got something special going on over there. So I see them the UFC knows what the fuck they're doing. Just like Khamzat won this weekend, was supposed to win. Brad Riddell's going to win.
I actually think we have a live dog here.
What?
And De Silva. No, dude. I really do. I do. The guy's a finishing fucking machine. He's finished 20 out of his 21 wins. And I think that you could see, I think his style could give him some trouble, man. I really do. I was going to reference a fight, and I forget which fight it was, but what's it called? Yeah, I just think we're getting the more experienced guy. And this is more because of the line. The guy this experienced with just an absolute finishing machine. You're almost getting 3 times your money. And I don't really know if I've seen enough out of Riddell yet to justify the odds. This is more of me fading the odds than it is the fighter. I couldn't get myself to lay this much money on Riddell at this point in his career. He's still pretty fucking green. But he's definitely the better kickboxer for sure. That's not a question. But I just think De Silva might be able to do a couple things that Riddell hasn't seen in there yet. So I'm tentatively going to pick De Silva at the moment.
All right, I like it. Sometimes you got to play the odds. I get it.
I just think Riddell, I think that the hype on him is real. I remember after one fight in the UFC, they're like, this kid is this shit. Like, the hype is real. And I was just like, oh, shit, maybe I should look into him more. Watched him his fights. And I was like, okay, I understand.
And I remember me and Matt were actually going head-to-head last time when he fought Magomed Mustafayev. And, listen, if you watch every single one of Magomed's fights, he's throwing spinning back kicks every other, attack. And then when he fought Brad Riddell, he realized he's not as good of a striker. He went right for the grappling, and then I think he got 9 takedowns, but Brad Riddell was up every single time right after that and won the decision. So Riddell is the real deal, man. I really do think – I agree with you. I think he's going to work at this kid, and I think it's the UFC. He's just like, all right, let's go City Kickboxing. We got a little thing with you. All right, here we go. First fight of the main card. Pretty good one, actually. I think it's going to be a great fight. Hakeem Dawodu going up against Zubaira Takugov. Takugov is like a -120. Go ahead, Matt.
This fight's really hard to pick, man. I'm going to go Dawodu. More so because I think I said on a previous podcast, just out of respect for Conor, I'll never, ever take The other guy. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Matt, and talk over you, but I'm 99% sure that you actually said you would be happy if Tukagov died.
I mean, I probably did say that. Dude, this fight's going to be crazy, man. It really is a low-key, a really fun fight. It's just two power strikers that are uber athletic. I don't know, man. Dawodu's Muay Thai is really, really, really good. It's very high level, and he's very physical with it. Like, he's not – like, a lot of Muay Thai guys could fall into the a point fighter mentality and just tap the leg, and just score points. Dawodu is just uber athletic. He's just got such a fucking good style from a Muay Thai perspective that I don't think you see very often. But Tukagov, if he starts to mix in his wrestling, which obviously look at the part of the world he's from, he can wrestle his ass off. It could make – I don't know. That's where I think I'm at odds with myself, but tentatively going Dawodu at plus money. I can't believe I just picked back-to-back underdogs on this podcast, but I'm fading the guy that's better wrestling too, which I hate to do. But yeah, right now I'm going to take Dawodu. Neither of these guys – actually, no. De Silva might be in my picks, but Tukagov is probably not going to be in there. I mean
did you guys just hear music in your headphones?
Dawodu. I heard music in the background somewhere.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? You have ESPN up, Matt?
No, I swear to God.
I heard that was creepy because it was in my beats. It went from one ear to the other. It was whoa. I was like,
yeah, I heard that.
Anyway,
Guaranteed to lose money on this fucking.
Hopefully Zubair does try to wrestle because then he's going to gas out by the end of the second round. I'm going to pick Dawodu as well. This fight is literally a battle of who goes to more split decisions. Aside the Kevin Aguilar KO aside, which Kevin Aguilar super. Tukagov has gone to split decision in the past 3 fights. Won 1, lost 1, and went to a draw. He was a minus 600 favorite over Lauren Murphy, and didn't we pick? We all picked Murphy on the podcast. And they went to a draw, which was pretty insane. They both
stalled at the end. Sorry, just had to bring that up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you. They both have great kickboxing. Dawodu's got great Muay Thai. I'm looking at the line right now because I wanted to mention this. Dawodu opened at minus 115 and is now sitting at plus 115, which I found kind of interesting. Zubair is opening at plus 115 and is now minus 135, the last I had seen. I see where the line's back and forth. I'm back and forth in this fight as well. I'm going Dawodu here as well. I think he's got a little bit more power. One thing I do want to mention is I've seen Dawodu get wobbled before and kind of hurt a little bit, and Zubair does have pretty good power, but he does tend to gas out a little bit. And I'm just going to ride with Dawodu in this one. I just have that kind of gut feeling, and I'm taking Dawodu with the questionable cardio on Tukagov's side.
I'm going to go Dawodu. I mean, not Dawodu, excuse me, Takagov.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I think you're right. When I watched the Lerone Murphy fight, he did gas, but Lerone Murphy was scrambling his ass off to get up every time. And I think we've come to agree now after he just knocked out that guy not too long ago that Lerone Murphy's pretty good. He's actually a talent that can become something in the UFC. So I don't really put too much stock into that. Yeah, he got tired, but I think he's going to manage it a lot better here. I'm not convinced that Dawodu can get up after being taken down by Takagov, which I really do think eventually Dawodu is going to get dumped on his ass at one point. It's just a matter of can he get up and keep fighting. So I think it's going to be a fucking close fight, and we're fighting in the Middle East. We're close to where fucking Takagov is from. Islam is over there and all that shit. So I'm going to take a really close
Islam and that shit.
Very close, hairy split decision for Takagov.
Takagov is very hairy.
Very hairy. He's got the Dagestani, chin strap, so he's for real.
You're basically a pussy if you're from Dagestan and you don't have a beard, essentially, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Sarge is back. Sarge is back after 2 weeks removed from beating the shit out of Julia Vila. Big upset. Going up against Caitlin, got knocked the fuck out by Irene Aldana.
Bad.
Vieira. Wow. That was a crazy – you don't see that.
That was jaw-dropping.
That was oh my – she's dead. Unconscious, stiff. What do you think, Matt? Who takes it?
Dude, this is a tough fight too, man. I mean, you have Vieira's coming off over a year layoff, I believe. And then you have Sarge, who's fighting what 2 fights in 2 weeks, basically. Like, I don't know. It's a really tough fight. I'm gonna go Vieira here more so because I don't feel comfortable picking 3 underdogs in a row. But I think Vieira is really good everywhere. She's got incredible takedown defense, and I don't know. I think Sarge is. I think she fights. I mean, it's so hard to knock her because she looks so good in her last outing. Granted, I do think that Vieira was just such a. I mean, what's her name? Avila was such a big of a favorite. She might have just took the fight lightly. Like, that's kind of what it looked to me. Like, I think that she couldn't get Eubanks out of there, and she was just like, she just folded. I don't know what it was. I don't think, and it sounds fucked up because I don't want to take anything away from her. I don't think Eubanks is as good as she showed in that fight. And I just think that wherever that Eubanks tries to take this fight, because she just kind of tries to coast, in my opinion, Vieira is going to just be there and be better. So going Vieira here. I know she got knocked the fuck out in her last fight, but Aldana's real. She hits with power. I mean, she's a Mexican boxer. This is what they do. Yeah, I don't see Eubanks doing that or doing anything that would threaten Vieira. Go ahead, Chris.
Yes, I'm agree with you. I'm going Vieira right here. I'm going to say it right off the bat. I just think few things. I think recency bias is playing huge on both sides of this. Vieira was not a hype train, but a little bit of she had a train going behind her for sure. And that train came to an abrupt halt when she lost to Irene Aldana. Irene Aldana's fucking headlining, I think, next week or the week after. So it's like, okay, makes sense. Whereas Sarge is coming off her fight. Like you said, how long ago was it? Fucking 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks the night of.
2 weeks the night of. And that means that in 2 weeks, Sijara Eubanks has to make weight twice, who's notoriously terrible at cutting weight. So hopefully she didn't balloon up too much. I just think that's going to play a big role. Excuse me, especially with the flight and everything and having to cut that weight. I think that's going to be really tough on Sijara. I'm really interested to see if she makes weight, 2, how she looks on the scale if she does make weight. Also, the recency bias being that obviously Sarge just fought and looked good in her outing. With that being said, she looked good in the grappling department, and her wins when she plays spoiler are usually when she uses her grappling. Vieira is a black belt in jiu-jitsu and has significantly better takedown defense than Julia Avila. So I don't see – and she's got a height and reach advantage. Sarge is like 5'4", I think. So I just think that's going to come into play. And I just see way too many negatives on the Eubank side, and I'm definitely riding with Vieira. I think Vieira is looking like a little bit of a lock to me. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to ride with her.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. No, I agree. I'm all over Vieira too. Think about it. Think about this. Ready? If Vieira never got knocked out by Aldana and Sarge never fought Julia Avila, Caitlin would undoubtedly be a -600 right now.
Yeah.
For Eubanks. So recency bias, you're 100% right, Chris. That's 100% why the line what it is. I think Vieira is going to win this fight. She's very good. I've seen her like, hey, everybody gets knocked out. Everybody gets knocked out. It happens, but like her talent is for real. Like there's a reason why she was a hype train. She was beating everybody in front of her, and she got caught by a contender / title challenger. So it is what it is. Vieira's going to get this dub. I'm not convinced that Sarge is just on this resurgence comeback here. Not going to happen. Co-main. I'm actually pumped about this fight.
Same.
Brandon Royval, 1-0 in the UFC over Tim Elliott with a crazy awesome submission going up against Kai Kara-France. Kai Kara-France is a big favorite. I think like -240. What do you think of that?
Fuck.
Dude, I hear you, bro.
I don't know. I have a weird man crush on Kai Kara-France, man. I don't know why. I really like him. I mean, he's 4-1 in the UFC. I know that he hasn't faced the best guys. I mean, he beat Tyson Nam, who just knocked somebody out this past weekend. He beat Mark De La Rosa, who hasn't knocked out Mike's favorite fighter. Not knocked out. Beat Raulian Paiva, Mike's favorite fighter, and then lost. Who's granted should probably fight for the belt soon. I don't know, dude. It just really is a clash of styles because if Royval's able to get him to the ground, that's his world. If Kai Kara-France keeps him on the feet, Royval's in France's world, and I think Royval will get beat up. His striking defense to me is really unimpressive. He gets hit a lot. He does have some pop, but as somebody as calculated as Kai Kara France, I think he'll just be sitting back, waiting on counters anytime Royval decides to get wild in there with his striking. Right now, I do know that Royval obviously is he's taller. Mike, you mentioned that today, which I don't know.
He's like significantly taller, like 5'.
He's 5'7", and Kai Kara France is 5'5".
Oh.
So it's not.
I saw him listed at 5'8" and 5'4" earlier today too, which is weird.
I saw 5'9" and 5'4", so we all saw different things.
Okay,
What
well,
about dick sizes?
right now I'm going to go with Kai Kara France.
Kai Kara France?
You're going with Kai Kara? Okay, I understand. I get it. Go ahead, Chris.
You go ahead, Mike, because I know you're going to be all over Royval. So I'll play mediator after.
Well, obviously, my confirmation bias just makes me snowball towards why I want to keep picking him. But the thing is, like he said, and this is a fact, after his last fight, he was super emotional. I think he might have gotten like the bonus or whatever. He goes, I can finally quit my job and do this full time. And I know that he's been training at Factory X and MMA Masters, which is two, there's killers in both camps. And if he's doing this full time and he's 5'9" and his striking is getting better, especially because he's committed now. Kai Kara France always just squeaks by in his fights, man. Win or lose. Like I know he beat Mark De La Rosa. Wow, great win. Tyson Nam, yeah, if you're faster than him, you can win. I'm just not impressed with him, man. And his fights were really close. I thought he lost to Raulian Paiva. And Brandon Moreno showed him what the fuck is good. I mean, and obviously, if it gets to the ground, Royval is so slick. He's so fun to watch on the ground. He watches LFA fights. He gets those six submissions, 6 transitions. It'll be in his world, and he's significantly taller than him. I just think Royval plus 188. How can you not? And I'm taking him by submission too. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Oh no, man!
I love Brandon Royval in this spot. I think that Kai Kara France is it sounds stupid and very uneducated, but I think he's due for a loss. I just feel like he snuck by against Mike's favorite fighter, Raulian Paiva. I don't think he won that fight. I think he lost. It was a split decision. I thought Paiva took that fight. Kai Kara France he can't finish strong. He wins 2 rounds and then doesn't close out fights, it seems like. Which kind of scares me in this fight because I can see him winning 2 rounds and Royval's durability is holding up and not being able to get the submission in the third and then lose the fucking fight. I totally see that happening. I almost cannot make a pick on this podcast. I'm going to go Royval just because I feel like it's a good spot for him. I feel like Kai Kara France has been skirting the edge of a loss, and this might be the time where he just kind of hits ahead. He is a lot bigger, Brandon Royval. Like we said, we don't know what the fuck discrepancy is. Somewhere between 3 and 5 inches taller. He has a longer reach. He's 8-2 in his last 10. And to Kai Kara France's credit, he started his career 7-6 and is now 21-8. So he went on a 14-2 run to his own right. So both these guys, this is just insane. I think if it goes to a decision, Kai Kara France wins, but I totally can see Brandon Royval submitting him within a couple rounds. So I'm going to go with Royval more so because of the odds on it. At that big of plus money, I'm going to ride with the dog.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, Mike, before we go to the co-main and main, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe in this fucking video. 45.4% of people watching this shit right now are not subscribed. So 1, thank you very much for watching. 2, be sure to subscribe so you can watch us every time. It's free for you, great for us. Everyone's happy. The end. Hit the red button.
Please, it helps so much. We'd appreciate it. Up next, co-main. Jan Blachowicz, plus 240, going up against Dominic Reyes, the Dominator, King Dom. Matt, who gets this?
Talk about recency bias, man. I do think Reyes should be favored. I think that these odds are giving John absolutely no respect, and that comes from me. And I've always been a John hater.
Jan.
I never.
Dude, I fucking hate.
I never, ever, 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 ever pick him. I don't know why. I just don't.
Did you call him John?
No.
Call him John.
No, I didn't. But I don't know. Fucking A, dude. These fights are so hard. I'm literally looking at this fight as if it has even odds. So, in my eyes, I do think Blachowicz is definitely the all-around better fighter. I don't think that's even a question. I think his takedowns are better. I think he's better on the ground. Not a question at all. He hits really fucking hard, like really fucking hard. I think that's a part of him that was a little bit underrated for a while. But in Reyes, on the other hand, he just hits really hard. Like, we really haven't seen him do much else. I know how well he fought John Jones. I get that. But you look deeper into his total strikes landed, he really wasn't that accurate with his significant strikes. He didn't really land many of them. So I really do see money on Jan here. I really do. It's so tough, man. I am picking. I only think I pick one favorite on this card because I'm probably going to change my Kai Kara France pick. But Jan is uber fucking tough, and I think the longer this fight goes, even though we just saw Reyes go 5 rounds with Jones, the longer this fight goes, I do think it will favor Jan because I think Jan is going to make it more of a dirty fight. He's not going to stand there and try to bang with him. Reyes is bigger. He hits harder. He's probably not the cleaner striker, but I think Jan's going to get him get him up against the cage. I really think he's going to work his takedowns, and we know that Reyes, he's hard to take down, but he 100% can be taken down. And I don't know. I just think we see Jan use some tools that we haven't seen at him before, man. It's a title fight. I think he's going to fight a smart fight, and I think that we might cash in on double money here. Chris, have at it.
Dude, so I'll say it right off the bat. I think that in the fight, straight up 50-50 coin flip odds, I think that Dominic Reyes wins this fight. But with the odds the way they are now, I'm going to go with Jan as well. I think that he's 37 years old, but it just seems like he's been getting better. When he first broke into the UFC, when he was, in his early 30s, he did not look that good. He was losing to guys that he probably shouldn't have lost to. And one thing that I wanted to mention, to play devil's advocate, one thing I did want to mention, the Sharks are all over Reyes and wrong on Jan. Ready for this? I just found this interesting today. Dominic Reyes, I screenshotted pictures of this on my phone because I thought this was super interesting, and maybe all of our fans will find this interesting as well. Dominic Reyes was a favorite in his first UFC fight against Joachim Christensen, minus 275, won convincingly. Dominic Reyes, minus 405 over Jeremy Kimball, won very convincingly. Dominic Reyes, minus 210 over Jared Cannonier, won convincingly. Minus 165 over OSP, won. Minus 215 over Vulcan, wins. Minus 185 over Weidman, which is crazy. It's way too small of a line, wins. Underdog against Jones, rightfully so, loses, and now he comes in at minus 200. He's been hovering around minus 200 in all of his UFC fights, won them all except the John Jones fight where he was a dog. Jan Blachowicz, on the other hand, they've been so wrong on him. It's actually kind of crazy. So just going back to the Jared Cannonier fight, he was a big underdog. He won. Jimmy Manuwa, big underdog. He won. Luke Rockhold, big underdog. He won. He was a favorite over Jacare. He was an underdog against Corey Anderson, and he's coming in as an underdog here. So it's just kind of crazy to me how they've been dead on with Dominic Reyes and dead wrong with Jan Blachowicz. So a lot of money.
Go ahead. I think that's why I always have a vendetta against Jan because I literally just never bet on him and he always cashes.
He's just, dude, it's kind of crazy. Like he really does just win. Every time he's supposed to lose, it just seems like he wins. When he's the favorite, he fucking loses. And right now he's coming in as a dog. So I don't know if there's a fucking pattern there or what it is. But money's been all over fucking Dominic Reyes. This line blew up. And at this rate, like I said, like initially when this fight was made, I was like, oh, they just want to give Dominic Reyes, like Dominic Reyes is going to win his belt. You know what I mean? Because if he beat John Jones 1, 2, 3, it's his belt. I don't know, man. This is a fucking banger of a fucking fight. I love this fight. I'm thrilled to watch it. And with the odds the way they are, I would ride with Jan. Honestly, I think the over, I think it's 2.5. The over is a smart bet in this fight. I think they might come out a little gun shy because they both just mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? Straight up mutual respect between these two guys, and we'll see.
That's funny you say that. I actually have the over in this one already. It was like over 2.5 at like pretty much even. I was like, that's good. I'll take that. Yeah. So the thing about Jan, the thing is, I keep going back and forth, and Jan, I think, has more ways to win, and not just like via grappling or striking, but like experience and longevity and enduring the later rounds. It's like we all saw how Dominic kind of just faded, like in the middle of three, towards the end of the third round. John Jones, you could tell like he could potentially lose this fight via stoppage if John Jones decides to turn it up because he's exhausted. Whereas we've seen as Jan goes through his career, he's become more reserved, maybe not a lot of output, but when he does throw output, it matters, whether it's a kick or a punch, it hits and it lands and it hurts. And Dominic kind of is going for volume, and I understand volume, especially in the eyes of, the Middle East judges over there. They take a lot of stock into volume, but I just feel like if Jan can just like kind of endure the first couple of rounds, man, and then make it hairy, push him up against the fence, maybe get a takedown in the third or the fourth, or even in the fifth if it gets that far, things can get hairy for Dominic. I keep thinking Dominic's going to win because of how good he looked in the Johnny Jones fight, but I feel like that's what's steaming the line, and I don't want to be part of that category. So I'm gonna pick Jan tentatively, but and if you ask me where I'm putting my money, obviously I'm putting it on Jan. There's no question about that. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Dom goes out there and gets like a nice combination, rocks Jan. He's been rocked before. I know he's durable, but like he's given rocked before. He got TKO'd before, so anything can happen. So I'm going to tentatively pick Jan, and that's where my money's going, but I'm not going to make Jan one of my picks, I'm not,
Right.
no shot.
Fun fact for you guys, which I know we've spoke about this on the podcast before. You know how they say, so the UFC champions, so with it being including John Jones, Figueiredo, Jan, Volkanovski, Habib, Kamaru, Izzy, then John Jones, Stipe, Nunes, Whaley, and Shevchenko, and then Nunes again, obviously. The champions have a combined record. I'm just saying for number's sake. It's like 200 wins and like 10 losses, but combined. Where it's funny, so if Jan wins, Jan alone has 8 losses. You know what I'm saying? So almost as much as all the UFC champions combined, where if Dominic Reyes wins, his only loss is to Jones, so it's only getting 1 loss. Where then in the main event, which we're about to talk about, Izzy and Paulo are both undefeated in MMA, so it's only 1 more loss. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. MMA has become to the point where, dude, that's fucking nuts. These champions are the best of the best. They beat everyone. It's crazy.
It is. They are the best. And I don't know. I can't put Dominic Reyes up there, and just if he becomes champ, it would feel out of place.
Yeah, it feels weird.
I mean, it feels weird either way. I don't think Jan being champ feels right. You know what I mean?
No, but no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just feel like he's put his due work in now. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to watch it. As a fan, this is a great fight. I can't wait to see how it goes down because it can go down either way. And
skeet.
So, like, put your money where the mad plus odds are, I guess. Main event time, boys.
Yeah.
We got Borrachinha.
I am going to erase you.
Dude, you see what he tweeted? Oh, dude, he doesn't give a fuck. He goes, I'm going to do blow with John Jones.
John Jones is probably wait. No, we're not doing that. Nobody pay attention to this tweet.
Dude, Paulo Costa also said that he was tweeting for the longest time. And people were fully believing it, that he was like, I've never been tested by USADA. And people were like, he's never. He's the best.
He's great.
I'll just decide, though, whatever Paulo Costa is not taking, please let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need it.
He looks unreal. And he's going up against Izzy, man. Minus 180, right, Matt? Something like that.
180, 185.
Is that big now? It's minus 170. We're on right here.
Fuck me, man.
Is it a trap line, man? I feel like Izzy.
I don't think there is I don't think you can make a trap line with this fight. The only way you can make a trap line here, I don't see a way to do it, because I think that should be closer. But
Izzy opened at minus 115 to Paulo's plus 105.
Yeah, like that's.
Wow.
Oh yeah, quick shout out to my buddy Gabe and Darren Till on the shirt.
Dude, that's also Brandon Royval's nickname is Raw Dog.
Yeah, I saw that before when I was reading about him. But yeah, dude. So this fight is crazy. But I think the longer the fight goes, I think it favors Adesanya. I know, like, oh, well, he just went 3 rounds with Yoel Romero, so I'll tell you what I told Mike before. And I'm not discrediting Costa by any means. I actually really like him, and I've flip-flopped a lot more on this over the past, like, week or two, as opposed to, like, when the fight was first announced. So, like, I get it. Romero's ridiculously dangerous. He hits like a Mack truck. Both of them do. But I really think that over the course of those 3 rounds, Costa was able to pick his spots where he could take a break and catch his breath. And I feel like he's going to be dealing with a different animal. And Izzy's going to throw more than him. He's going to land more than Romero did. I know he doesn't hit as hard, but over the course of the first, I think if Izzy gets out of the second round, like undamaged completely, he can't get rocked, and he can't make it out and get rocked at some point. Like, oh, it's the third round, whatever. He needs to, if he makes it out of the first 2 rounds clean, it's his fight to lose. I'm not saying just because, he's already up 2 rounds. I think as the fight goes on, Izzy will stay exactly the same, and I think that all of Borrachinha's muscles are going to start to fill up with blood. He's still going to be explosive, but his style, and I'll quote Dominic Reyes with what he said about Conor, his style requires a lot of energy. He throws everything is with the intention to kill you. And he can knock you out with anything. He can knock you out with his feet, his fucking hands, everything. I would like to see him mix in his takedowns, which he never will. He averages 0 takedowns per contest with a landed percentage of 0. But he is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. If he has an advantage in anywhere besides power, it's on the ground. We haven't seen any of that out of Izzy. And when any times he's gotten taken down, he gets right back up. I want to see if Borrachinha can get him down and just start to wear on him, man. Land some short elbows. Just get him down and hurt him. Make it a dirty fight, and then in the later rounds, you'll benefit more if you're trying to gas and you know, within the first 2.5 rounds, you were sitting on top of Izzy, dropping your fucking massive forearm in his head. You know, just give him something to think about. That's what you have to do, because if you just try to bum rush him, guess what? Izzy's seen it. He's fought Romero. So I granted Borrachinha is better than both, and he hits harder than both, and he has a better chin than Whitaker does. He's something he's seen before. You need to give him something. You need to give him a look. You need to get him thinking about something else besides you rushing in, throwing bombs. That's my input. I'm taking Izzy. Not 100% confident, though, because Paulo Costa is scary as fuck. Chris?
I'm just going to say exactly what I said when this fight was announced. I still want Paulo Costa to win. I just said from the day this fight was announced, I just think that Izzy is – this matchup is almost made for Izzy. I just think that, again, you know, it's like the bull and the matador. Can he avoid the bull long enough to, you know, stab him in the heart, basically? And I can totally see that happening in this fight. It almost seems like anytime Borrachinha has fought a technical striker, you know, say just Uriah Hall, for example, Uriah Hall was looking pretty good, but then Uriah Hall does what Uriah Hall does, and he folded. You know what I mean? Borrachinha is a savage, though, and he's going to come forward. And, Matt, to what you said, just play devil's advocate with where in the Romero fight he was able to, you know, catch his breath. That fight was action for 3 rounds. They were going back and forth with, you know, debatably the strongest guy pound for pound in the UFC in Yoel Romero. And in this fight, it's where Izzy, you know, again, it's bull and matador, so Izzy's going to want to be backing up a little bit and kind of like letting Paulo bum rush. If Paulo doesn't want to bum rush and just stands there, it's going to look a lot like the Yoel Romero fight, and I feel like he will have time to catch his breath. Granted, to play devil's advocate to myself, because you know me, I just fucking go back and forth myself every time I talk, in reverse order. So from first to most recent, Paulo Costa's fights. First round,
Yes.
1, 2, 2, 2, 3.
Yes.
So which is kind of crazy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row. I could have just looked to the left, but 9 in a row ended in the first round. Some of them in seconds, which, to Paulo Costa's credit, maybe he fucking does that. You know what I mean? Izzy's been knocked out cold before, not knocked out sleeping on the mat, and that was with 16-ounce gloves on. So Paulo Costa is a big boy. I want to see what happens. Like, I want to see Izzy. I want Izzy to, I guess, prove me wrong again. Like, I mean, I'm picking him to win. I do think Izzy's going to win, but I'm saying all the reasons why he can lose. Kelvin Gastelum hurt him more than once, and Paulo Costa is way bigger, way stronger, and way faster than Kelvin Gastelum. So
That's one thing I actually said to Mike, and I was playing devil's advocate to myself, was I don't like the way Izzy deals with pressure. So Izzy's defense is really, really, really good. It's as good as it gets until when he gets up in the cage, I don't like what he does. His defense, once he's up against the cage, not being held there in a clinch situation, he's physically just backed up that much. His defense to me kind of goes out the window a bit. He leans back. He just kind of leans back and just tries to use like head movement, and it doesn't work up against the cage, and that's where Kelvin was able to catch him. And like Christian said, Romero is more pressure than Kelvin and a lot bigger of a person. So again, playing devil's advocate myself, it's just something to think about. That's where I think Izzy could run into trouble, is if Borrachinha constantly has him on his back foot and he's just trying to dip up against the cage, he's going to get cracked. I don't think that's even a question.
What do you think, Mike?
I think eventually Izzy's going to get hit with a heavy shot. Whether he goes down or not is left to be seen. But we all know Izzy takes a lot of shots. Obviously his counter striking is absolutely beautiful. Some of the best you'll ever see in the UFC. But the thing is, I don't think Paulo Costa is such a unique individual. He's a combination of explosivity, athleticism, intense ground game that we never see, power, just unbelievable will, determination, self-confidence, self-belief. I really do think that he stands a very good chance to win this fight. If he takes Izzy's best shot, I mean, like, Paul is going to just turn up the confidence. And then if Izzy lands his best shot and he's like, wow, I can't get this guy out of there, I don't know. I mean, like, honestly, I give Izzy all the credit in the world. When he came out in that 5th round against Gastelum, and he came out, he's like, I'm willing to die for this. Like, that was fucking sick. I gotta give credit.
I got the chills. That was so epic.
Bro, that might have been like the best like main co-main ever.
Dude, it was an unbelievable night. I remember we're all at your house, Matt. That was awesome. I just think and listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Paulo gets knocked the fuck out with one of those snipers after, ducks one and returns fire, man. Like, Costa's chin is always there. It's always there.
He's gonna whiff. Costa is gonna whiff. And then I think the first round's gonna be super fucking telling of how the fight goes.
I'm fucking pumped for this fight. If I have to make a pick, I'm gonna go with Costa. I've been saying it, so I'm just gonna stick to my guns. But like I told Matt before the podcast, he put a gun to my head, and my life depends on it. I guess I would go with Izzy, but I already put a bet on Costa, and I'm just gonna ride with him, man. I think it's like a 50-50 fight almost, because their styles are gonna be very. It's either I think Costa's gonna win convincingly or Izzy's gonna win convincingly. I don't see this being a close fight. And what
are the odds of this fight going the distance?
I think it's like, I don't think it's that outrageous. I think there's like a decent line for it to go.
So I feel like if it goes the distance, I feel like there's almost no way that. Oh no, I shouldn't say that there's no way Costa could win, because I could see him putting some damage, putting the hurt on Izzy. I don't know. This fight's sick. My heart's already fucking racing. I can't wait for it. I think that Paulo Costa is fucking hilarious, though. I'm gonna say that. The whole thing today with him saying he goes, Izzy's talking about I'll come over there and grab you by the neck, blah blah. He goes, this guy, a blue belt, trying to talk to me. Dude, he was shitting on him for having a blue belt. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Talking about his earrings being the same as his mom's. That was hilarious. Saying that he goes, I can't even picture your skinny body in a gi. That to me is fucking great.
Could you imagine being mounted by Paulo Costa with him jamming his forearm into your face?
No.
There's no place on earth I'd want to be less.
Well, I know Joe Rogan said one time that he got mounted by DC, and he said he felt like someone parked a bus on top of him.
Bro, that pressure is real.
I would tap from pressure immediately. You would think that somebody had me by the neck.
Dude, seriously, that would be next level.
Plus 175 to go the distance.
I see. Yeah, I understand that. But that's going to be one for the ages. And you know what else is going to be for the ages? Bellator being fucking live on CBS, baby.
God, dude.
It's about time. It really is fucking about time that Bellator is live. they're kicking off the first 26 actually, so Saturday as well, which I think a total of 0 people are going to watch because UFC 253 is going to be on. But hey, they're kicking it off, and Leon Edwards' brother is actually going to be headlining it, and he's the underdog, which I found weird because they really try to push him. So Fabian Edwards is taking on, I have to look at his opponent, Costello Big Penis. No, I'm not kidding. It's Costello Van Steenis or Steinis I'd seen today. But I really do think that Fabian Edwards, like I feel like Bellator is trying to give him a little bit of a push. So him being an underdog is kind of cool. It's interesting. The fight will be taking place in Milan, Italy, and they're going to go on kind of a run. I don't have it in front of me, which I know I should, but that's going to be followed up October 1st, Bellator 247. I just want to pull this up so I know I don't want to mess the dates up for all of our fucking listeners. But I know that Bellator 247 is going to be on October 1st, and that's going to be a hard-hitting matchup. It's a welterweight matchup. It's Paul Daly, and why the fuck is my
Paul Daly?
Dude, Paul Daly's still doing the fucking thing. He's taking on Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson has fought. He's actually been one of the guys who's fought at 165 before in his career. Hashtag 165-pound weight class. Hashtag the schmo. But yeah, Paul Daly still doing the damn thing, which is almost psychotic at this point. He's only got a couple fights left before he retires. He's made that pretty well known himself. Only thing that kind of breaks my heart is these two cards, both these cards headlining the Milan little Euro series they have going on. There's legitimately not one person on either card of note. Aside, like I said, Paul Daly is probably the biggest name, Derek Anderson, and then Fabian Edwards. But then I'm going to pull up.
Just a question for you. Is it a lot of just European fighters and Italian?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's
pretty cool though, because it's kind of an untapped market over there.
That's Bellator's plan. That's what they've been trying to do, and they're breaking into the whole European market. And then the next week, they're really doing it. The following week, right now, they only have I think it was only like 2 fights listed on their card. Whatever the fuck the next weekend is, October 7th, I think. James Gallagher is headlining against what's his name? Cal Eleanor or Elena or something like that. And then Charlie Ward, another McGregor teammate, is the co-main event. So they're really trying to push that, as you guys know. And then after that, I just want to get these dates right. I know, MVP versus Houston, and Czech Congo and Timothy Johnson is Bellator 248 is the following weekend. And then the next Thursday is Cyborg's defending her belt. So they're really going off. And we just found out that the Featherweight Grand Prix is resuming. Patricio Freire, a.k.a. Pitbull, is taking on what's his name? Not Derek Campos. Who the fuck's he's fighting? I'll think of his name in a minute. I can see his face in my head. They're resuming it real soon. I'm really pissed that I can't think of it off the top of my head. I can see his face perfectly in my head. I'm just having a total brain fart. What the fuck's his name? I could see Pedro Cavallo. I just thought about it. I was picturing his face in his beard. I was like, I can't fucking think of his name. I was about to type it in, but it came to me. So they're resuming the Bellator series, which I think is sick. And back to UFC news, just a couple things I jotted down for the podcast. Lawler and Perry, that's going to be a banger. I feel like there's no way. I think Perry's going to bring the heat. And I think that, dude, I just want to see Lawler sting him. That would be so sick.
Sting him. Knock the sense back into him.
But I just think Perry could just bring that pressure. And I don't want to see Lawler, kind of.
Bro, but if you think about it, watch back the first round. I know he won fucking convincingly. Watch back the first round of the Mickey Gall fight. Mickey Gall was cracking him. But the thing is, Mickey Gall just doesn't hit hard.
But Mickey Gall's not gun shy. And hasn't lost.
I don't think Lawler. You think Lawler will be gun shy against him? I think he's only been gun shy because
4 or 5 fights.
I think he's been gun shy because look at his past 4 opponents. They just
why you wouldn't be gun shy against those people against?
No, just from a takedown perspective, he just kept getting dumped on his ass.
Takedown perspective. I was gonna say you'd be gun shy against Neil Magny and not against fucking Mike Perry.
Well, Mike Perry's not going to go to try to take him down. At least I don't think he will.
No, Perry tried to take him down. Like in his defense too, Mike Perry called Lawler out 3 years ago. Remember, he goes, he was like, I got a name for you, John Anik, because I know you're gonna ask. Everybody want to see me beat up Robbie Lawler, and the crowd actually went crazy. That was when he had his fucking mohawk and shit. And he just got the platinum tattoo, dude. He's a fucking psycho.
Yeah, he's in his mind.
Like, thank God, fighting in a cage is a profession because otherwise he'd be in jail.
He's gonna be a father. Bro, he's going to be a father.
No comment.
One thing that I forgot to mention before, going back to the main event, really backtracking here. One thing that I hate to see when champions drink their own Kool-Aid, when they believe their own hype. And Izzy this week was doing he got sponsored by Puma and was doing a photo shoot this week. Like Paulo Costa was not doing photo shoots this week. Paulo Costa was fucking training and cutting weight and taking ice baths.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you hate to see. But I really do think Izzy's going to win. I think the UFC knows what they're doing with him. But Paulo Costa is super promotable, and he could be the next Brazilian superstar. Go right back. I think if he wins and fans can come back relatively soon, he'll be headlining the card in Brazil in no time.
Bro, yeah, there's no doubt you can sell him, man, because, dude, the way that he looks is all that people
you can make action figures out of him.
Dude, seriously.
Dude, he's hilarious.
Speaking of Brazilians, Glover Teixeira, Thiago Santos back on for the third time.
Same thing with Cutelaba and Ankalaev. I think it's being rescheduled for the third time in October. I think it's on the Khabib card.
Yeah, dude, we go and see. And do you guys know November 21st? Is Garbrandt, is that the official date for him?
Yeah.
It is, right? That card's going to be so sick.
Dude, that card's going to put me.
The line's closing for it's getting a little better for Garbrandt. He was at plus over 200 now.
Good, bring it down so I can put it on Figueiredo.
Dude, seriously, I don't want to see Garbrandt get fucking lit up, but I can totally seeing it happen.
I'm riding Figueiredo's train so fucking hard. I don't care, man. I'll ride it till he loses.
Especially at 125. Dude, my boy Dillashaw is going to be back sooner rather than later, bro. He's eligible in January. But to fight, they can book him now for a fight in January. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what's so weird? I always think about this. It's so random. Every time a guy gets suspended for 2 years, I'm like, oh my God, that fucking sucks. And then all of a sudden, it's 2 years later and he's back. It's like,
kill me, dude.
It's like,
I remember reading the news on the way to work. I sent it to you guys. Dillashaw made that post and was like, I'm voluntarily giving up my belt. I was like, no, you're not. You're fucked. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, God.
Dude, it feels like yesterday we were at Buffalo Wild Wings and Aldo got knocked out by McGregor, man, in 13 seconds. Dude, it was yesterday, bro.
In that same year, I was watching fucking Nick Diaz fight Anderson Silva on a beach chair in my bedroom in college.
He was laying on a beach chair in the middle of the fight.
Dude, that was epic. Oh, man. That was so fucking funny. But, yeah, boys, I think I got nothing else for you guys. Bellator's back, and it's live. I'm fucking jazzed. UFC 253, I'm fucking jazzed. Colby Covington is the man. If you don't like it, fuck him. Bloody elbow. Worst MMA fucking news stories in the world.
Hashtag cancel bloody elbow. Tag us in it. Make a tweet, Instagram, hashtag cancel bloody elbow at MMA Gossip. Please do it.
And then follow us on all of our social medias at MMA Gossip, which I did say in the beginning of this episode. And comment, subscribe our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Podcast, wherever the fuck you idiots listen to podcasts. Almost slipped right there hard. Wherever you idiots listen to podcasts, like our stuff. Listen to us. Don't tail our bets because we're not into MMA handicappers.
Oh, my God.
The end.
The end. Peace.